Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Situ and thank you for joining me in the journey of confession. तो आज हम सुबह सुबह उठ के फ्रेश हो गए, अपना मॉर्निंग रिचुअल्स वगैरह ख़त्म किया एंड वी आर वर्किंग फ्रॉम होम बिकॉज हमें फुल्ली रिकवर करना है एंड बिकॉज ऑल्सो बिकॉज कितना बिकॉज बोलेगा
Amazing!
यस नेक्स्ट वीक से नॉट नेक्स्ट वीक से हाँ नेक्स्ट मंथ के सेकेंड वीक से हमें बहुत ज़ोरदार कुछ एक क्रैक करना है एंड मुझे एक पार्ट दिया गया है उस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का एंड आई हैव टू बी फुल्ली फिजिकली एक्टिव एंड फिट टू गेट दैट डन. मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं फुल रिकवर होके आऊँ ताकि मैं जब जाऊँ फील्ड पे लोग ऐसे पागल हो जाए कि वाह से तो वाह कैसे कर दिया तूने, मतलब एकदम ना तारीफ़ों के पुल बांध ले. तो अभी फ़िलहाल के लिए तारीफ़ों के पुल बांधने से पहले मेरे को कुछ कुछ काम है ऑफिस का, कुछ नहीं बहुत सारे काम हैं वो ख़त्म करने. एंड देन हमारा एक क्लास है जो हम अभी कर रहे हैं फॉर अगेन द सेम पर्पस. तो ऐसे 2-3 चीज़ें हैं जो लाइंड अप है ऑलरेडी, प्री डिसाइडेड सिंस येस्टरडे. सो वो तो हम करेंगे ही, उसके साथ साथ अगर कुछ अजीबोगरीब किया हमने बीच में तो वो मैं आपको दिखा दूँगी. सो स्टे ट्यून्ड. तो अभी हमारा मीटिंग ख़त्म हुआ, लंच रेडी है, लंच करेंगे. लंच में है चावल, दाल, भिंडी, बैंगन और ये है आलू चोखा. एंड देन मैं बताती हूँ उसके बाद क्या चल रहा है. वेलकम टू माय फेवरेट सेगमेंट द कन्फेशन. सो today is a very hot topic that we are going to talk about because I have already seen who the teacher is and it's extremely complicated to talk about her. I think this video might extend, and also I would suggest if you are liking this section to watch it in the playback speed of 1.25 at least, because I might go slow as this is not scripted and I'm just saying with the flow. So let's start. So she writes, as the sun rises and removes darkness by spreading light all over, similarly, may all of you become the epitomes of knowledge, spread the light of wisdom, and remove the evil and darkness prevailing in the society. Her last name is Mahapatra, and she was my class teacher, the class teacher to 10C. I'm not going to take her first name till the end of the video as well. So if you don't want to drop the conversation, as in you don't want to hear the entire story, you can drop out. I'm not going to take her full name because it might get a bit controversial because in general, if I talk about my views, I loved her. Blind love, I'm sure everyone is aware. That was me with her. And she's the best friend of the very first teacher we had talked about, Bhagavati Sahu Miss. So yeah, I'm not going to tell her name any which way. So this lady, let me and as I said, this might stretch a bit because I literally have a lot of memory with her, and mix of all, but I would want to address all of it because I'm sure my classmates, my seniors, my juniors, they would all be looking forward to this video, and I'm sure after watching this they are going to subscribe this and share it with her for sure. So yeah, talking about our sections as it is divided as I was a kid, my college life, and talking about the current situation. So picking up when I was a kid, so this lady, I would describe her as the epitome of beauty because she is really very pretty. Like at today's date also, if you go back to her page and her Facebook page and you look at her, she looks exactly the same as she was looking when I joined the school in standard 3. You cannot find a single difference, and I can bet you she is extremely pretty. She would always wear sari to the school, well draped. I mean, um, if I have to describe her in one word in terms of looks, it's perfect. She knows what combination to wear to school. If it's winters, she would put on shawls or sweaters that I can't forget. I don't know what was it for her. And she's extremely pretty till today. I will give that to her. Second thing, me being me, I am always one of those kids in the school who doesn't want to impress any teacher, because I felt back then, I mean, I think I have the same feeling now also. If a teacher loves me, they love me for who I am, not because I have impressed them doing something extra or I have walked extra miles for them. So I never believed in, pampering any teacher or being sweet to any teacher. I would be the same to everyone. But, but this was the only place I would do extra things for her. Not because I wanted to be her favorite and all, but I wanted to. I don't know why. I'm sure Srija is gonna kill me. There are few other people who are gonna kill me too. But I did. I don't know why. I would get roses for her. I would pick up any beautiful flower that I see while I'm going to school. I would pluck it only for her. I would give it. And she would also very sincerely wear it here. I loved it. She made sure, doesn't matter if she's giving me respect or not, she respects my flower. And I loved it. And not that in return, like because I get her flowers or I make sure that I am addressing her beauty, but in general also she would never care. Like for her, I was also one of those kids about whom she can go back to her best friend and bitch and make a fuss about anything and everything. I was always that for her, same as normal children, but it's just that she respected the flowers I gave her. Now, there's one more story to this. Why I also carry a soft corner for her. Her teaching, she taught Odia, which I never understood. I was not very good at it. I would only get marks which could get me pass, just that. Um, but nothing more than that. Like I hardly understood the idea of, because in my previous school before we switched, I was good at Hindi. I never got to take Hindi when it came to as an option since childhood, because in Odisha, if you are applying for any state examination, you have to have Odia. And I don't know why my parents thought, or my guardians thought, that I will do something in state. They forced me to do it, but okay, fine. Let's not make an issue about it. But I had to. Now, the thing here is, somehow the entire school had this idea that I love chocolates. I mean, I really did back then. So one of my aim of life was to have a chocolate factory. So I get it. I really love chocolates. Loved ED, not right now. I am not a chocolate fan anymore. I don't eat chocolates, to everyone's surprise. I think I hate them. If I may say that, there's very specific ones that I eat, and that too, it's um, very expensive as for me. Not something like the quantity and the price doesn't match. So I don't usually go for chocolates, in short. But this lady, Mrs. Mahapatra, she would, like, whenever it's someone's birthday, we would go and carry chocolates to all the teachers and everyone, right? Uh, so I had this thing that I should also get a little bit of chocolates, and be happy about it and things like that. So if it's our class, if it's someone from my class who has their birthday, then we get chocolates. But if it's some other section or some other class, why would we get it? But she was also one of those teachers who would hop in our bus, because we were sharing the same route, and every time she would give her purse to me, to hold when she's standing. She would never sit. If there is any seat also, like, she makes sure that everyone comes and sits first, and then she will sit if there is any space. Otherwise she would prefer to stand. So now if she is standing, she hands over her handbag to someone, as in the purse to someone, and she gives it to me. And every time when she is going walking down, she would hand those chocolates to me. She won't even count. So she would just put her hand and she would give those chocolates to me. And I feel that, I mean, that's a good way of barter. Like, I give you flowers, you give me chocolates. Back then, and that is one of the memories I remember. And along with that, a lot of them. So as a kid, I never liked her as a person, to be very honest, because I knew she would put questions. Why did you do this? Why did you answer me? Answer me. And the moment you start answering, she'll be like, don't say anything. Why are you giving me explanation? Bro, it's basic. If you're asking me something, I will answer you back. I mean, if you're asking for an answer, telling me a question and asking for an answer, I will answer. But the moment you start and try to explain her, she chooses not to listen. I don't know why. And that also for her is a kind of disrespect, that if you are talking back. But it's not about talking back. It's a question that is put across to someone and the person is answering, and that is not um, to specify to one particular person. That is same for everyone. And she had her preconceived notions for each and every person, which is okay for her. But she actually treated people differently. Like, she had their favorites. My sister was one of her favorite. I think my sister was everyone's favorite, so I should keep her aside. But yeah, she had her favorites, and she made it very clear through her gestures and everything. With me, few things were different, but considering she was my class teacher, she made sure she gives its tag to me every time there is a parents teacher meeting, that she is very fickle. She's a very good student. She can do very well, but the only thing that is stopping her from being a brilliant, top five student out of this entire class, is because she is fickle and she's so much into the extracurricular activity. I don't know what kind of problem she had, but whenever I'm dancing, or if I'm doing any skit, or if I get a first position in any sports, or if I'm commanding, she is the first person to hoot. So she's very complicated that way to explain. But yeah, she's pretty. She is pretty. I can't take that away from her. Now, mm, why I personally didn't like her, not because the preconceived notions and everything else, but when I was a kid, I didn't like her because she kept complaining about me, right? But obviously, as in when we went to standard 10, there was a, I think in standard 9 or 10 first assessment, I excuse me, I managed to get the full mark in, I mean, it was a 20 marks exam, and I got 20 out of 20. I was shocked, how did I get it? And she, what would you be do if you are a teacher? You would be happy, right? She told, Sidhu, can you give me back your answer sheet? I need to recheck it because you got full mark. I mean, I don't mind, I won't blame her. But still, bro, just be happy. Ask everyone to clap for me. I just did it. Which she rechecked, and obviously, duh, I got 20 out of 20, but she did. Now, that was one of the reasons, but also I had seen her being a little partial and about things, as I said. But as a kid, I didn't like her, the my majority reason, because back then I would not think about the society, the people around me, and all. It was all because what I am doing. I didn't. The only reason I didn't like her was because of her complaining nature. Now, coming to my college time, when you come to a college, as I said, the attention that you get, it is not focused to you, right? It is again divided. And the problem here is when you come to that divided attention space, you will find a lot of teacher who like you. They are coming to you with a generalized thought, okay? Whatever thought they're putting across, it's in general. But you will also find few teachers who are same as school teacher, but not that same. That is when I think I missed her. But in college, what happened is, so when you uh, are looking up to certain teachers, or say there are few teachers who have a huge impact on you. It could be positive or it could be negative. Whatever perception they try to build or create regarding a student, it stays with you. So in my class there were few people who are actually good. And when I say actually good, I have gone to their space, I have been to their home, I have met their parents, I have stayed in their house, we have hung out, we have literally chilled. Me, my sister, one of my other friend, and this four people, we were really good, like we were tight. And just because she had an influence about, she had a thought, I would say, not influence, but she had a preconceived notion about one of those friends. She made sure that it is not only conveyed amongst the teachers, the behavior reflected within the class as well. So in that journey, I realized when I was in college that there is a way of communication. There is a way where to say what and to whom. You cannot, being a teacher especially, you cannot or you should not put on your thoughts about one particular student in front of the entire school. You can put it to your best friend, cool, not a problem. You can put it amongst the teachers, not a problem. But when you get it down to the students, the student in that class all start looking below upon that particular student, which becomes a case of harassment. And now when I sit back and think, my friend, she could, break world records back in school, but she could not do it because she was carrying a baggage of a teacher's judgment, her classmates judgment. I would definitely not blame anyone but that one particular teacher, Mrs. Mahapatra. And she's not the only one to be blamed, there are multiple other teachers. But yeah, because today we are talking about her, here it is. But now, talking about the current situation, I understand where she is coming from, but I fail to understand why. Now when I say I understand where she is coming from, I get it that everyone have their personality. But holding any personality, good, bad, princess, devil, fairy, angel, whatever, you can be anything. But when you are in a profession, if you are a doctor, you cannot show your angel side and devil side as and when as per your personality. If you are a doctor, you are a doctor, you have to behave like one. There are certain protocols that you have to follow. You cannot be biased, you cannot pass your judgments, you cannot let one student be affected by your judgment or your way of talking towards them. If you want to teach them anything, if you want to give them a feedback, that has to be done alone. That person should not feel targeted. That is why I fail to understand. But when I say I understand that everyone seeks a personality. So again, it's all on you guys. You can choose and understand what do you feel, if the teacher was right or wrong. I'm no one to say what's right, what's wrong. What I can say is I didn't feel that it was correct because my friend suffered. I'm sure she would also say something like this if her friend suffered. So yes, I did. Come on, bang on. I know there can be people with other views, but I completely respect whatever she taught. I respect her as a Odia teacher. But if someone says, do you respect her as a person? Maybe not. I would not give that to her. But as a teacher of that particular subject, great. Like I said about Yasmin Miss, not just the subject, every other thing I can put a blind tick, not for her. So I think that is how I will wrap it up. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Please do share your comments if you have any other ideas, because as I said before, this is very early stage, and doesn't matter if I have 100 videos down, still I can change my content because I do what I do. I mean, I do what I feel like doing. Though I am much better right now and I'm feeling very energetic, still I don't think so I have more energy to continue the video. So I will wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching my content. I really like to make these videos for you guys. Keep supporting, keep sharing, and keep adding more people to our community so that we can continue the confession. With that, thank you so much. Good night. Bye bye.